Alright, so welcome everyone to this live stream where we are going to take a look at the Forex market. So as you guys know, because you are in it, you know that we have now opened up our legacy platform for the Bird Nest, right? So we are going to transition into, well, not really transition into, but we're gonna increase our field of view, so to say, to the legacy markets, the traditional markets like stocks, commodities, Forex, and everything, basically everything that you can trade. So we're going to be a crypto and basically a trading community, and we are going to show you how to trade any asset in this world, right? Because technical analysis can be applied to basically any price chart. So yeah, so stay tuned if you want to see some potential Forex setups, and yeah, basically that's what I'm gonna show you today. So yeah, all right, so first of all I want to take a look at well, this is not Forex, this is gold and silver. So let's stick to Forex. I want to show you something I'm watching on the euro dollar here. We're actually right now coming in and testing the upper part of this order block. Let's see if we got some. I know we had a very good signal in our legacy platform. We have a very nice algorithm that puts on calls into our Discord for short, simple short and sell signals, right? And we had a beautiful one on the Euro USD. Yeah, so we got that today morning at around 7, and let's just pull up the chart to see what yeah, let's see. So this is the signal that the bot printed, right? So here we had a bearish signal right here. Let's see. So that were at 1.1059, 1.1059, 0.59. So that's around this area, right? And as you can see, beautiful, yes, beautiful, right? Catching this trend beautifully. So if you enter that short, you are in a quite nice profit right now, right? So what I'm looking for now is I want to, like me and Kong discussed in the Forex channel, I'm looking at this order block right here, this daily order block here, being used as, if you look at the 4-hour here, it was being used as resistance here, we broke above, which made, which gave us this powerful move right here. We were using it as support back here, and it broke above here, which led us to this high up here. So in my opinion, this is an important area, and if we are going to get, let's see where we have the fibs, and first let's see where we have the RLC right here. So the RLC is down here, so if we lose this order block right here, I would anticipate a move down into this order block down here. And if you guys remember from a couple of streams back, this is where I entered long. I took profits up here, obviously way too early, but this was just such an obvious setup, right? You have a nice reclaim of the order block EQ here, right? Stop loss below the swing low here, and take profit that next order block up for a well, 1.8 R trade. So not really the greatest R, right? But I think you could manage that with your stop loss, right? So a decent trade, right? But if I were instead have used a trailing stop here, that would have been very nice, right? But because I would basically maybe could have caught this entire move up and got stopped out on this one, right? So lesson learned, don't take profit too early. Instead of taking profits, instead of getting out with all your bag, you could exit with 25 to 50% of your profits, or 75% of your profit, and let the 25% run with a tight trailing stop, right? That would have worked out perfectly on this one here. So you could have used a a manual stop too, right? And that would look something like this, right? You would have your manual stop, you know, here, here. So whenever you get a swing low, you basically put your stop loss below it, right? So here you could have used, you know, this area as your stop loss. You would then have gotten stopped out here, right, for a good 1.97%, and that means you are, that would give you a 3.64 R trade, so that's definitely way better. So using a trailing stop in these kinds of, you know, when you have a clear bullish break in market structure like we got here, you know, have the bearish market structure here, and with you know, the higher lows and the higher highs, that's obviously a bullish break in market structure. And when you see that clear trend forming, and that's when you are basically looking to ride the trend. And when you're riding the trend, using a trailing stop is usually a good way to secure profits without entering too early. All right, so we're actually seeing some very nice action right now on the Euro USD pair. So what I'm looking for right now is, first of all, I want to see our Burbricator bot on in our legacy calls channel, or in the bot channel. I want to see that one print a long signal, and if we get that long signal, I would love to try along here, and I would like for price to come down into this order block right here. I wanted to either come down here and range like this, form a W, breakout, retest, and go, right? So I would like to have that bot signal, a long signal, inside this area right here. I would not want to buy this blindly because we are right now breaking the uptrend. So what we're seeing right now is a bearish break in market structure, right? So we are breaking this this uptrend. So you gotta be careful buying you know, the first retest just blindly on this one. What you want to do is you want to wait for bullish market structure on the lower time frames, maybe even as low as a 30 or 15 minute time frame, but the hourly is probably the most reliable to look at right now. So what we're looking for is something like this: dip down, reclaim EQ, and then move up to create on the lower time frames higher lows and higher highs, right? That's when I want to enter. That's when I want to enter. So that's the trading plan for Euro USD right now. We might have, I mean, we did touch this the high of this order block perfectly just now, so this might have been our bounce, right? So what I'm looking for in that case is we should see, you know, bullish market structure forming on the lower time frames from this current area we're trading in right now, and we're using this on the lower time frames. I'm gonna look at this area for confirmation. So what I'm looking for then is this kind of move, like something like this, right? And you enter here, right, for a move up to, I would say, you know, first resistance is probably up in this area. Second take profit area is probably somewhere in this region, right? And I would then wait for a move up to test the 200 simple on the daily. So that's what I'm watching on Euro USD right now. One very important thing that I've learned in my career in trading is definitely to be patient. In the beginning, I would probably just have bought this one right here. I would have layered my bids like this, something like this, yeah. So I would probably layer it in this zone, something like this, to get an average entry of, you know, try to get an average entry around the order block EQ. So I would just layer bids in here, hope for the best. The problem with this type of buying, when you just blindly buy a support area without waiting for confirmation, is the fact that you can just, you know, trade like this. I mean, the trend of the lower time frames is down, so the chances are that you are going to continue downwards. And what that means is you would then have to look for a, in my case, high probability short. If you lose this order block, you would then want to look for bearish market structure, break down, retest, and go down to the order block below, right? So we are looking for confirmation of trend. Right now the trend is down, so I want to short this if we break it to the downside. But if we see a bullish break in market structure on the lower time frames around this area or inside the order block, with the EQ being used as horizontal support and resistance, that's when I want to long ride. Now let's take a look at GBPUSD, the Great British Pound, versus the not so great American dollar. I'm kidding, America is super awesome. What are we seeing? All right, so crazy action, crazy volatility. So we got reacted here as expected. So let's see if we could have shorted this area. Let's go down to the lower time frames, the 1 hour. Right, so this is interesting, right? This is interesting. Here we are seeing a clear uptrend, and again, how do you define a clear uptrend? Well, you have the low, higher low. It's very simple. Like I'm telling you guys this in every stream. An uptrend, you should know by now, is higher lows and higher highs. A downtrend is lower lows and lower highs. Very, very simple. What are we seeing here? Well, we are seeing a uptrend. This area is our first potential break in market structure, but we made a higher low and continued upwards. We had another potentially dangerous situation here, but we managed to create another higher low. Now what are we seeing up here? What are we seeing up here? Well, if you look at this low, right, then we might actually, you know, create a high low in this area. But if you zoom in and take a look at this area, you have your first signs of a potential bearish break in market structure that might translate into the higher time frames. So what we saw here is a clear reaction here, right, by resistance. We have a high, lower high, and then we have price coming up and testing this area again. So that would have been a pretty decent entry, I think. So you gotta take into consideration too that this is obviously a very important area, right? Because you tested it as support here and you bounced, you know, pretty violently upwards here and here, right? And you had some, this area being used as support here, and when we broke this area, you had a very violent move to the downside, and you also have this type of action here being used as resistance, and when you broke above, you had a very violent move to the upside, right? So this is obviously an important area, so this is going to be heavy resistance. So the trend is obviously, I mean, this trend is pretty obviously up, right? So you gotta be careful shorting in a strong uptrend. But this is resistance, very strong resistance, right? So you could very well be looking for, you know, you look for a confirmed rejection, and I would say that this is a pretty obvious confirmed reaction, right? So you would then have, you know, the lower lows like this clear trend, right, on the 1 hour. You then come up here and test this resistance area again. That would have been, in my opinion, a pretty good short. You could have entered short here. Stop would be above these wicks here, right? And take profit would be, the first take profit would be, in my opinion, the first trouble area is this region right here, right? So this is the first trouble area, and that's your first take profit, right? So that's even this trade. I mean, it worked out perfectly, right? And even that trade is at 3.35 hour. Now this is hindsight trading, obviously. I mean, this has no. It's just pretty stupid doing this type of analysis because you are already analysis. And, you know, I'm looking at a trade that's already happened, and that's, you know, not really the way to do it. But I'm just showing you guys how I'm thinking and how I'm approaching the forex market, because like, when trading alts in crypto, everything moves so quickly. Everything moves so quickly. And what I've noticed in the forex market is you will be able to have more patience, right? Way more patience, because an alt can move, you know, 400% in a matter of hours. You won't see that in forex. You won't see that in forex. You won't see those, you know, insanely crazy moves, right? So you have the patience to be. You have the time to be patient, and it's most of the time going to be a very profitable thing to do, to wait for the obvious setups, right? And this opinion, like in this situation right here, you are still, you know, shorting in a pretty clear uptrend, right? So you gotta be careful, right? This is obviously, in my opinion, a high probability short, because you already got rejected as at high time frame resistance, right? So in my opinion, that's a good short, especially when you have the confirmation of a reaction, right? So because of the trend being like the low to medium time frame being up, I would look to quickly move my stop either into profit or into you know, into entry. So you had the entry right here, right? The stop loss up here. And when would you wanna, like, when would you wanna move your stop to entry? Well, I think as soon as you broke this level to the downside, that's when you want to. Let's make that a horizontal instead. As soon as you broke that area to the downside, that's when you want to, you know, move your stop, right? Because you can see that this area right here kind of looks like a range, right? And when you have when you have this type of structure, it kind of looks like a range, right? So you could have just, you know, continued ranging like this, right? And that would have, you know, taken out your stop at entry pretty quickly, and you would then maybe break down, retest, and go, right? So you gotta first, I always try to have one level of resistance or support below my stop, right? So when price are trading inside here, having a stop right here gives no room for, you know, reaction of any resistance. But now that we're actually taking out this area right here, you could move your stop up here, because if we enter this range again and start trading upwards, you know, that would, you know, be a good chance of actually seeing continuation, right? Because remember, looking at this area, this could have just been a higher low, right? So yeah, that's how I would play that setup for sure. Let's go back to Euro USD, see how it's working out. What are we seeing on the 5 minute? We're seeing it's looking good. I mean, we're definitely seeing a bounce here. Let's see. We might, maybe we'll see a signal here, and we might get to play that that long. But I'm gonna be waiting, right? Let's see, where did I have that? I swore I did make a level right here. All right. So this is what I'm watching on Euro USD, right? So let's take a look at the Aussie dollar. Let's see. It's in the daily. All right. So we have a obviously the high time frame trade is obviously down, right? But looking at the 4 hour, we are seeing a uptrend on the lower time frames with higher lows and higher highs, right? So what are we looking for here? Either continuation of this trend or a reaction, right? So let's put on the moving average. Actually, I forgot to look at the moving averages on EURUSD. So let's see how it's looking right now. So we are below all major moving average on the 4 hour. How's the daily? All below the moving average on the daily. The weekly, same there. How's the monthly looking? All right, so from a moving average perspective, this is obviously looking pretty bad, right? We have the 1 over 200 SMA here, but I'm not really gonna give a lot of credit to that one, to be honest. So yeah, moving averages ain't really telling me much on this pair at this very moment. As you guys know, I like to use the 200 simple on a daily as my ja, du kan gå på toa nu. Gå tyst bara så du inte väcker honom. Okay? Alright, so sorry about that. So I like to use the 200 simple moving average on the daily to judge the overall trend, right? And now we are right now trading below it, so I think the overall trend is down, obviously. But we're seeing, you know, I'm still interested in this setup, this long right here, or a short, depending on if we bounce or if we fail to hold that area. All right, so also dollar. Let's see the moving average. We got reacted by the 21 EMA on daily. Let's mark that one out. I like to mark it out with a horizontal to see exactly where it is, right? 21 EMA on the daily is right here, 6176. All right, perfect. So let's look at the 4 hour. Did we get a clear reaction on the 4 hour? We did. So all right, so on the 4 hour, like I said, the trend is obviously up, right? So where would I want to see? To short this, I would like to see a break in market structure, right? So I'm watching this area, right? Let's see. Yeah, this is the area that needs to hold for this trend to continue, because if we go down here and create a lower low here, we have a break in market structure, and that's when I would like to try to get in, you know, get a short in on this area. You know, it could just look like this, right? You had this area here and you had a lower low here, but you just pump straight up, right? So that could happen, obviously. So what you need to do is look for confirmation, right? And how would that look? Well, it would look something like this, right? Let's say you come down into this area. You come down and you bounce and you create this kind of structure, right? Either you go up, retest the breakout level for a move up to the 21 EMA on a daily. That's the bullish case, right? And if we fail to hold this area, I would look for something like this, right? Enter on that area, either stop above this area if we get a swing high, or I would say above this area right here. So that's when I'm looking at that one. Take profit. Let's see how that setup would actually look. Let's see, short position. I'd like to, let's say we short that area. Actually, this one is probably better, but let's use that one. Our stop would be this level. I think that's the better area. Now, where should we put our first take profit? So I'm watching this area right here. Confluent with this area here, right? So you could actually take some off here. That's only 1.63. But you can take some profits up here, and if you break that area to the downside, take some profit here, and if you break that area to the downside, right, you see something like this. When you get this kind of move, you want to move your stop either into profit or to entry, right? So take some off here, and second target would probably be this area, right? And third and fourth target would be this one. And after we clear this area, I would like to add a trailing stop and just let this one develop, right? So that's what I'm looking at, that one. And euro versus the pound, how's that looking? Let's see, the weekly still getting reacted by this high time frame resistance area, right? Let's see, where did I get that one from? All right. Yeah, so I think what I'm looking for here is, yeah, I don't know, it's not, yeah, this one ain't really super clear. I'm not really liking this one. But if we, like, say we move, this could be a good area to short, right? But I'm not really seeing much on this one. So let's see what the moving averages says. Say the daily. Yes, we lost the 21 EMA on a daily. We have the 200 simple here, and as you can see, it's being used as resistance right here, right? So being used as resistance here, broke above, retested, and went upwards. So what I'm looking for here is a, and also, I mean, yeah, I'm not really sure about this one. We might, let's see if we had a nice retest of the 21 EMA on a daily. Let's see, where's that one? Let's see, 4 hour. Yeah, so we got a pretty nice retest of that area. So yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm thinking about this one. Because if we reclaim the 21 EMA on a daily, shorting this area might not be a good idea, because if we reclaim that 21 EMA on a daily on a daily closing basis, I would probably want to long this pair. So right now I'm going to watch the 200 simple on a daily, this area down here. So that's the one I'm gonna watch closely. No real trading plan on this one right now, because I don't think it's, I mean, this is obviously a very important area for a potential bounce, right? So I would most likely wait for a bounce and wait for bullish market structure to form around this area down here before I actually long. All right, so USD versus yen. So we had a very clear reaction of this bearish order block up here. Perfect. Shorting that one blindly wouldn't have been a very bad idea, but what I'm seeing right now is an interesting candle here, right? So let's see, let's go down to the 1 hour. Let's see. Yeah, so a clear uptrend here on the 1 hour. Let's look at the 4 hour. I think the 4 hour was better. Yeah, so losing this area would have been my short signal, right? Because you have a pretty clear, you know, the higher lows here, and you then broke this low here to downside. This is probably when I would have entered short, first take profit. I'm looking at this wick here and this area here, which you can see it came down and tested that area perfectly. We're now seeing a bearish, maybe a bearish retest of this area here, right? So that's what I'm seeing on USD versus yen. Let's see if... Well, I'm seeing something here, so we might as well dive in and see if we can make a proper trading plan on this one. Let's see. The daily. This one. I like this one. Kan du stänga dörren, Melvin? Alright, this is looking good, right? And I can definitely see the order block EQ coming in right where we bounced. So, show you something interesting here. It kind of looks like we got a perfect reaction of this order block up here and bounce on this daily order block down here. So what I would look for, I explained the short scenario here, right? And we now saw this bounce here. So what I would have been like, we might actually get a long setup here because we are seeing, you know, an uptrend forming on the 1 hour. We have the, you know, we had this uptrend here, broke down, created a downtrend. We are now seeing a potential break in the market structure inside this order block. So what are we looking for in terms of a setup here? Well, I think this would be interesting. Stops somewhere. Either use this low or this low. I like to use the most, you know, the most current, the most recent price action, and also trying to, you know, not only look at the most recent price action, but also the historic, like historic price action levels, right? So we're definitely seeing something here, which means we should, yeah, let's use that one and see if we can get a trade going here. First take profit should be this area or this area. Probably up here, right? Let's see. This. And here, right? If you're super, you know, conservative, you can use this one too, but the risk to reward isn't really good up there, right? Let's see, we got that one. Potential take profits, right? But I would like to see a move, you know, basically a continuation move here. So, you know, I'd like to see this type of move, right? So I would like to take, you know, I would like to see price come up and test that area. So I'm most likely not going to use all of these take profits, but actually I might actually have to enter this trade. I'm liking it. So let's see, 4 hour closes in 2 hours. So if the 4 hour actually closes above this order block, I'm going to enter this trade, I think. So I'm gonna remember to actually do that too. So USD versus Canadian dollar, looking good. The daily, let's see where I'm seeing a setup somewhere here. Where is the setup? Weird. All right, this one. This was an old one, right? And I kinda, where is it? Yeah, I wish I would have entered this one. This would have been a pretty... Du kan gå upp istället, Melvin. This would have been a pretty nice trade, right? But never mind. This is just, you know, a beautiful breakout retest trade. Very nice. Use the swing low here for a stop loss. Take profit is, you know, first trouble area, wherever that is. Let's see, future trade on this one. Well, we had a massive run recently. Looking at the daily, it got reacted by high time frame resistance up here. So what are we seeing right now? Well, we're seeing a reclaim of this area here, right? So let's see if we can find anything interesting on the lower time frames. Where do we have the moving averages? So we bounced off the 21 EMA and a daily, very nice. So definitely bullish price action right here, above the 21 EMA, but definitely above. I mean, it's above all important moving averages on the monthly, the weekly, the 3-day, the 2-day, the daily, right? The 4-hour. We are right now seeing a potential cross of the 21 EMA crossing the 55 EMA to the upside, like we got back here. And right, so this is looking good. This is looking very good. So we are seeing a potential, you know, a bullish market structure, you know, break here with this idea here, breakout, retest, and go, right? Just like we saw on USD SEK here versus Swedish krona, right? So this is what I'm looking for on USD. Actually, it's moving exactly like the USD krona does. So yeah, how would you want to play this? Well, I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. I would most likely want to trade it like this. Long that area, stop loss below that one. Take profit up here. So this is probably how I would trade it. Like, yeah, I like that one. And if we move up, let's see, I'm getting some messages. Let's see. All right, so if we move up from current levels, let's go down into the 15 minutes, see if we can see anything interesting here. Yeah, I still think we might actually see a move down here. So not impossible, right? So either you want to long this area, right? So this is your entry, or this is your entry, right? So if the short term, like if the low time frame trade is going to continue, I'm thinking this might be the better option, right? For a quicker trade, right? And you could use the 1 hour as confirmation because it closes in 13 minutes, right? You can also see how, you know, price reacted to that area here, right? So you might get a move like this, right? And up here. So yeah, that's actually looking pretty interesting here. And if you look at the 5-minute chart, you have a, you know, this area up here, but I'm not really liking, you know, I don't like trading the 5-minute chart. I like, you know, going into the lower time frames to find like a specific entry, of course, but for me it's I like to use, you know, at least a 4-hour chart, right? But this is looking very interesting. I think we have a trend going here, and we are most likely going to test this high time frame resistance area. So you know what, I might actually enter this one. Yeah, so I like that one. Probably gonna enter that one. USD versus the Swedish krona, looking for pretty much the same type of setup. I'm not sure about this one, to be honest, because we have, I mean, the perfect setup were obviously this break and retest right here. So stop loss, not sure to be honest, but this is a perfect 2-hour setup, so not bad. But this, I mean, the stop loss is very wide, so I'm not sure about that one to be honest. But this is a perfect W formation, breakout, retest, and go, right? So that's it. That's the ones I wanted to take a look at today, and hopefully this was a bit educational for you guys. And I will try to make I will try to make more streams like this when I take a look at only the legacy markets, right, for you guys in the new legacy platform. And of course for you crypto heads, I haven't forgot about you guys. I will try to, or I know I will make my my regular updates too on crypto. And most likely I will do combined streams where I take a look at Bitcoin and alts and Forex and stocks and all that in the same stream. It's just very time consuming, so it has to be quicker, right? And if you guys like this type of stuff, please consider subscribing to the channel, right? And press the little bell button to get notified whenever I go live. Because once a week or twice, once every week or something like that, I will do public streams for everyone free. So remember to check those out too. And yeah, so this is it. Hopefully this was entertaining or educational or whatever. See you guys next time. Take care.